Oh god. Sargon of Akkad is very stupid. And he doesn't read. This is what that's what's gonna make this video more annoying than anything. Sargon just doesn't read anything. Not just like, he doesn't just not read his sources or read any studies or anything like that. He just doesn't read. And the reason why this is a problem is because he's about to try to argue against Lindsay Ellis, who is an aspiring author and someone who is very, very aware of writing and whatnot. He's going to try to argue against the concept of the death of the author, which we'll get into a little bit in a minute. And I imagine he's going to frame it very dishonestly, because Sargon is a pseudo-intellectual. But here we are. Lindsay Ellis and the canceling of J.K. Rowling. Now, I want to say right off the bat, Sargon should not be, like, defending J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling's ideology is the embodiment of everything Sargon should hate. Just in general, right? Like the virulent man hate, the pseudo-feminism that claims to actually care about like men and women equally, but in reality is based entirely out of just hating men and thinking they're all a bunch of rapists and haha, dead men can't rape, that kind of shit. Like, this is basically the core ideology that brought Sargon to being who he is now, like back during the Gamergate days, like the man-hate shit. So it's interesting to me that Sargon's gonna defend this, like, toxic cesspool of an ideology that is turfism right now. But I haven't seen this yet, so who knows? I could be wrong. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Video is going to be very complicated, and I run the risk of getting in some trouble with the powers that be, because I'm going to be taking the side of notorious TERF J.K. Rowling in the debate on the biological influence of one's chromosomes over one's sex and over one's gender. And I will be in opposition to a...
So, is Sargon really, like, still... Hold on, wait. I would debate Sargon on transgender shit. If Sargon ever wants to debate me, he'll never do this, by the way. He's part of, like, the new... You guys remember that, like, also I'm gonna eat tendies while I cover this video, okay? I'm sorry. It's happening. If you guys aren't cool with me eating tendies, while I cover J.K. Rowling, then, I'm mad. Mm, oh. Mm. If Sargon, unironically, believes that chromosomes determine your gender, I'll debate him on this. I'll do it. I will absolutely debate him on this, but I know he won't do it because Sargon is on the don't debate the grift left thing anymore. He won't debate Destiny, he won't debate Vosh, and he won't debate me. Same as Styx Hexenhammer. After getting blown out in debate and realizing they're out of their depth and their grift and their complete lack of understanding of any of these topics has been exposed, they're like hiding in fear of the lefty debate, bro. We literally embody everything. We, like, lefty debaters, embody everything that these people are terrified of. We go against their stereotypes of what it is to be a lefty. We literally go against the left is too afraid to talk about ideas thing. So they have to pretend like we're all a bunch of, like, dishonest grifters to try to justify and mask their cowardice.
YouTuber called Lindsay Ellis and Riley Dennis. Lindsay Ellis is a cultural critic, a film critic, and so we're going to be going through quite a lot of this. I'll try and keep it as simple as I can, because I think this is actually quite straightforward if you just know how to lay it out. And so
it's not.
Let's begin. Lindsay,
it's a very complex
what's
conversation.
the problem?
So I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of which are in my mentions, discussing death of the author and asking how we should apply this to our newly out and proud, incredibly transphobic J.K. Rowling. The warning signs were there.
All right. Let's talk about death of the author. Fuck, I'm thirsty. Need some water. Alright, guys. need to empty my trash cans. Let's talk about death of the author, okay, chat? The act of death of the author doesn't necessarily refer to specifically, actually, no. Death of the author is more or less separating the art from the artist, is what it is. Lindsay Ellis made a video specifically about death of the author and how it can be used by readers and by consumers of content to reconsider the message or the way that a particular literary medium is meant to be consumed, right? So the idea of death, so authorial intent is important. When you read a story, the intent that is given off by the author is really relevant to how the reader generally interprets that story. If you get a book and you're about to listen to a story or read something, chances are, if you know the beliefs and the intentions of the author, you're going to read that book and interpret the story very differently than if you didn't know the opinions of that author, right? That's just a pretty basic idea, right? Excuse me. So death of the author is essentially the act of distancing yourself from the authorial intent of the person who made the bit of media that you're consuming, so that you yourself can interpret what the message of that story is and what the intent of that story is meant to be. It's a very, very complicated thing that Sargon is too stupid to understand, and I'm pretty sure Sargon is going to assume that this is just Lindsay Ellis trying to cancel J.K. Rowling. But we'll find out. Here, I'm gonna grab a water really fast. I'll be back in like 5 seconds, okay? I'll be right back, okay? All right. Stop with the dog posting. Hide him. Hide him.
You kind of began as like a few months ago when people were noticing that she was liking some really hardcore right-wing turfy tweets. Turf meaning trans-exclusionary radical feminist.
So J.K. Rowling is a TERF, a gender-critical feminist who is opposed to the intersectional feminists on the basis of what it is to be a woman.
I like how he cuts her out there. I watched this video that he's responding to in its entirety last night before before this stream, because you can never trust someone like There's a lizard. There's a big fucking lizard on my curtain. There's just a lizard. There's a lizard. I'm gonna try to. Oh. Hi. Come on. Climb. Climb! God, now everyone's gonna call me a Vosh clone because I got fucking lizards now. Ah, shit. Hey. Stop right there, criminal scum. Shit. Listen to me, lizard. Hey. Hey. Oh. Fast. Come here. Come here, buddy. Listen. I'm not gonna hurt you, alright? Oh. Here. Come here. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Alright, boy. Come here. Here, boy. God damn it. Nope. Ah, shit. I'm gonna go in my closet. Fuck! Oh god, Chad, I think I lost the lizard. Yeah, I'm not kidding, I think I lost the lizard. Fuck. I think I lost the lizard, chat. Oh, where is it? Fuck, did it run? How did it even get into my house? You guys got to see it, right? It was like right here for a fair amount of it, so I assume you guys got to see a little bit of lizard? Did you guys get to see it? No? Okay, some people are saying they saw it. He was big? He wasn't that big, Vermin. No, that was like a fairly medium-sized brown anole. It wasn't too big. Whew. Damn it. It was alright. Now I'm the true Vosh rip-off, bringing lizards on stream and everything. Whew. I think you probably got in through the little crack in my window, because my window's open, and... yeah. Whew. Okay.
Like, just within the last 24 hours, we have her comparing...
Yeah, it was a brown anole. You guys can literally look it up. It was a male brown anole.
Providing gender services to young people with gay conversion therapy, linking to fringe weirdos and Medium posts like it's like some authority.
Well, we definitely don't want public figures who get millions of views promoting fringe weirdos to their audiences, do we, Lindsay? So what are you...
Did you just say trans people are fringe weirdos? I'm pretty sure that's the implication of what he said, right? Screen? Oh, yeah, true. I'm pretty sure that's, I'm pretty sure that's what he said. Males are brown? Yeah, it was a brown and all. I mean, he's probably gonna come back, because it's, like, it's pretty hot in my room, and lizards are, like, they really love the heat, so it's probably gonna be active running around and shit. I haven't caught a lizard in a long time, no wonder I was so off with my catching skills.
You using as the bedrock of your own beliefs in opposition to J.K. Rowling?
Biological sex is, in fact, much more complicated than the simple X and Y chromosome. Trans YouTuber Riley Dennis did a video on the subject a few years ago, so I'll go ahead and link to that, and I'll let her speak to that issue. That's not what we're talking about. Ah
yes, trans YouTuber Riley Dennis, who doesn't believe in biological sex.
This isn't true. The fact that Sargon of Akkad still has a platform, I'm really excited for this dude to get banned. Like, just to get fucking yeeted off this platform, because Sargon might be one of the, like, worst faith actors in the fucking world. Okay, so let's go over the reality of this. The video that these two videos that Riley Dennis made were basically her explaining that biological sex isn't a simple binary, and biological sex, as we understand it, generally speaking, isn't how it actually exists within the medical community, right? It's basically talking about the bimodal distribution, how biological sex is a spectrum. This is the consensus within the medical community. This is not argued. It is only argued by pseudo-intellectual, not gonna say the R slur, dumbasses like Sargon.
Definitely not a fringe weirdo. So we have to take a segue off of the path of Lindsay Ellis's train of thought in order to figure out what exactly it is that Riley Dennis is proposing. Now, Lindsay linked two different videos, but both dealing with the same subject, and called some variant of the phrase biological sex does not exist. J.K. Rowling is in direct opposition to this assertion. She
Oh
believes
yeah, by the way, the idea that biological sex isn't real is it's literally like it's like ACAB, right? Like, okay, yeah, no, obviously, all cops aren't necessarily bastards, right? Like, there are good cops, I assume, like cops that are good people, but every single cop that exists is basically, they are subservient to a broken system. That is what all cops are bastards means. They all swear an oath to a broken, unjust system. Okay? So yeah. The idea that sex isn't real isn't really a belief that lefties or pro-trans people have.
that sex is real, and sex being real is the basis of, say, things like same-sex partnerships or women's experiences in the world, which is what Lindsay actually links to. And then she goes on to say that, in fact, nobody is saying that biological sex doesn't exist.
And as is the case with so many transphobes, she is arguing against.
How funny is it that Sargon is proving me right actively and that he only read the titles of these videos and didn't actually watch them? Because in those videos, Riley J. Dennis doesn't say, oh yeah, by the way, there's no such thing as biological sex, that thing between your legs? Yeah, it doesn't exist. None of it exists. There's just, it doesn't exist, right? That's literally not the content of the videos. It's just the title, right? It's like 1312 or ACAP, right? It would be like if I made a video called All Cops Are Bastards, and then someone looks at it and says, Xander Hall thinks that all cops are bastards. Every individual one is a bad person. They are a bastard. But then, like, if you actually watch my video, I'm like, so listen, I know the title is quite provocative, but it is actually a message based around the idea that while all cops may not necessarily be bad people, there may be good people who are cops behind the scenes. Every cop, every police officer is, complicit in an unjust system. So in this way, all cops are bastards and that they are subservient to the system. Like that is basically what he's doing here. He's proving himself to be unlearned in this subject.
Against a position that nobody actually has.
The two videos she is citing are specifically arguing that biological sex
They aren't.
isn't real.
And as is the case with so many transphobes, she is arguing against a position that nobody actually has.
Biological sex has to undergo the same paradigm shift that gender did. We need to start thinking about it as a social construct rather than an inarguable fact. So if you're a trans woman, you're...
It's true. This is true. This is the, like, consensus among the medical community. Actually, if you want to, if you guys want, like, a way more comprehensive breakdown of this, SciShow, which, mind you, is, like, a very well-respected, I'm pretty sure they're literally, like, backed by Discovery, right? Sex is not binary. SciShow. Right here, SciShow. Literally backed up by the fucking Discovery Channel. Like, these videos are literally shown in schools and shit like that. Like, this is not... Like, this isn't just some random shit, right? Like, this is, like, massively backed up by scientific consensus. There's a SciShow video here. It's about 13 minutes that goes over this entirely. This is the definition of just something that is not, like, argued here. This person says why sex is not binary, and this is some, like, old fucking, probably irrelevant, not respected scientist that's probably been, like, debunked.
You're female. If you're a trans man, you're male.
There's a part of me that wonders if Lindsay's aware of this, but what I find really interesting is this.
I'm pretty sure she is. She actually reads and watches the things she talks about. Not like you, Sargon, who, like, reads the titles, maybe the first paragraph, and then just postures for the next 30 minutes on your videos. God, I can't wait for this fucker to get banned.
This bit.
No one is saying chromosomes are not real, Joanne.
As you're going to see, that's only because they can't. They have argued that everything else doesn't exist, but chromosomes are the last piece in the puzzle that they can't make go away. And so right...
Dude, chromosomes literally back up. Wow, what a screen to pause on. Holy shit. Wait, no. Chromosomes in their existence is literally one of the go-to examples that I bring up whenever I talk about why sex isn't a binary. Wait, Sargon, I'm glad you brought up chromosomes. Yeah, no, we can't because they do exist and they actually back up our opinion. Hold on. Sex is complicated and not binary. This is when I go to images. This is from the Scientific American. This is published in September of 2017. This talks about all of the different combinations of intersex beyond XX and XY. Literally, chromosomes are one of the go-to things I like to point to when we talk about why sex isn't a binary, or it's not a binary, or it doesn't exist in the way that many people in society observe it. Right? Those are mutations, though. Doesn't matter, Captain Chromo. Captain Chromo. It doesn't matter. They still exist, even if it's mutations. The existence of outliers still means it's not a binary. You can't have a binary code and throw around a few 3s and 4s in there and then say, oh, well, it's not... Yeah, it's still binary code, even though there's 3s and 4s in there. The 3s and 4s were typos. It's like, well, fuck, then it's not binary code anymore, right? This is the consensus of the medical community, Captain Chromo, in Twitch chat, right? Like, this isn't... You don't argue this with me, my dude. Take this up with scientists and doctors who all agree on this shit. I'm sorry. I don't get to make up... Listen, I don't get to make up the rules here. It's not me. It's the scientists and it's the people who synthesize the data and the studies and peer review it and everything. It's just not how... I can't argue with me. Intersex is like literally different person by person, Lamau. There are thousands of different kinds of intersex with a few more common arrangements. Yeah, that's why it's considered more of a bimodal distribution that you fall onto. Yeah, rather than it being like one or the other. Think of them as glitches created by the compiler? Yeah, sure. But even if they're glitches, that doesn't mean they don't exist. Simple as that. This just isn't debated. Like, anybody who's, like, arguing that, oh, it's a glitch, oh, it's a mistake, though, oh, they're mutations, like, this just isn't debated. The existence of these mutations is what proves, or disproves the binary. It's as simple as that.
Riley Dennis's conclusion is that chromosomes don't do anything. Let's take a look at Riley's argument and see how she gets to the conclusion that biological sex is a social construct.
Chromosomes themselves are not social constructs, but deciding to call XX chromosomes female and XY chromosomes male is a social construct. Now, I'm not saying that classifying things is wrong or that we shouldn't try to understand bodies at all, but I do think we could do it better.
So Riley is taking...
Even in the out-of-context, dishonestly clipped bits that Sargon is taking out here, even that isn't very, even that isn't very like ridiculous or anything. Like, there is nothing there that is contentious, right? Like, yeah, no, I'm not saying that we shouldn't like have categories for like certain sexes and whatnot, right? But it's more complicated than just XX equals female and XY equals male. That's literally all that she's arguing there.
A fundamental contention with the accuracy of the language that we are using for. Now, I think it's important to note that at this point, the Darwinian position on sex is that procreation is the purpose of courtship. The gender roles of man and woman exist to facilitate this courtship, and this is why they are tied to the reproductive roles of male and female, which has the ultimate goal of siring children.
Okay. I don't give a shit about the Darwinian theory about why sex and gender exist, okay? I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. The scientific community, okay, everything from fucking biologists to psychologists to sociologists have basically come together to form an understanding of how our world works, okay? I'm sorry, but the naturalistic fallacy shit does not appeal to me, okay? Humans are very different than other species in this world. We've got cultures, we've got societies, people work jobs, people have relationships, people, you know, there's more to it than just we go out, we try to make children, right? Fuck, humans have sex for recreation, not just to have, not to create more humans, right? Gay people have sex, can't create babies there. I mean, unless it's like maybe I guess like a trans woman and a trans man could probably have a child. I suppose it's possible, right? But generally speaking, or a trans woman and a like cis woman could. Like yeah, I mean like I guess there's that case, but like I'm sorry, but the naturalistic shit is not how anybody within these like fields judges these issues or talks about this. I'm sorry, it's like that's not how it works. Yeah, trans man and a cis man could too as well, yeah, and they would be gay.
But Riley's position is actually a lot more direct than that.
What you need for reproduction is one person who can produce functioning sperm and one person who can produce functioning ovum. Our decision to call people who usually can produce sperm male and people who can usually produce ovum female is a system that we invented. And you don't stop being female if you can't produce functioning ovum.
The words them.
This is true. This is really, really true. Why do we call why do we call people who produce eggs and have like a uterus and vagina, all that? Why do we call them female? Because we decided to. Like, what is Sargon going to argue here? Also, holy shit, he is not... We're not pausing on very, flattering frames for him today. There we go. Yeah, no, so this is socially constructed. That's why we call people who produce eggs female, people who produce sperm male, generally speaking. Like, this just isn't debated in the medical community. Why are these massive figures on YouTube that have such a massive following that can, like, make a living doing this? I literally go out of my way as much as possible to enlighten myself on these issues and like, get myself caught up on the consensus within the scientific community on these, like, on these topics as I can possibly fucking do, because I want to, ensure that my opinion on these topics is as in line with reality as possible, so I'm a more effective debater and a more effective rhetorician. But then I come across these fucking pseudo-intellectual scumbags like Sargon who come along and feel comfortable lying. Just... what a fucking liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude. Holy shit, dude. Holy fucking shit, dude. Literally lying. Still lying to his audience. So, yeah. Basically, Sargon of Akkad is a pseudo-intellectual hack. Nobody whatsoever should be taking this guy seriously. Fucking no one. He's lying here. He's lying. And I don't know if I even want to get into the fucking I don't even know if we want to proceed with the video, because I'm pretty sure if he gets into the J.K. Rowling shit, he's literally just going to misunderstand what Death of the Author is, how it is used as a literary, or what's it called? It's not a literary device. It is a method through which one consumes literary works, right? He's not going to understand the use of it. He's just going to say, oh, it's cancel culture, because he has no idea. Like, he doesn't read. He doesn't know anything about... Listen, I don't read. I just did research about this shit before I covered this video. Like, God, these people are so fucking pathetic. I wish I could form, like, a psychic cosmic bond with Sargon, so I could transfer everything that I know to him without having to, like, to word it to him. Because he's so fucking stupid and so dishonest that I feel like to penetrate his fucking thick, disgusting skull, it would take, like, a fucking psychic link of some kind. Jesus Christ. It's a method of literary analysis. Thank you, Violet. I appreciate that. But yeah, at the end of the day, Sargon is a fucking idiot. He's a transphobic idiot, and a rogue lizard has invaded my room, and we need to do something about that. Oh, God.